Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I am the Rogue Witcher. For those of you who are new here, I do content on all things Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, all sci-fi fantasy stuff. In today's video, I'll be giving my thoughts and review on Captain America: Brave New World. Before I get into that, please feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, jot a comment down below your thoughts on the film and help support and grow the channel. Without further ado, let's get into Captain America: Brave New World. Captain America: Brave New World. Now, what to say? I'm going to start by giving my ranking of the film. I'm slightly experimenting a new ranking system, which is a little similar to, if anyone is a Dave Portnoy fan out there, on ranking pizzas, where we can do any numbers across the 1 to 10, 6.4, 5.3, strong sixes, weak sixes, average sixes, all that sort of stuff across all the numbers. I'm going to give Captain America: Brave New World 6.8 out of 10. I thought it was a very strong 6, just not quite good enough to be a 7. And I see 7 as being the standard for a good, solid movie. And the rest goes up. So just below is decent and all that sort of stuff. 6.8 means it was just shy of being a good movie. I thought it was a very, very decent movie, a movie I liked. There was some problems with it, which we will discuss now. But let's start with the general consensus of the film. I thought the film was decent. I thought it flowed at a nice pace. It wasn't too long. You can tell in some areas that there was reshoots. Some of the visual effects in certain moments were quite poor, which we have come to expect in recent Marvel projects. The story was decent. It had ties to the original Incredible Hulk film, one of the early MCU movies, which gets forgotten about a lot due to the fact they changed Hulk. In fact, in this one, also obviously with the passing of the previous actor that played Thunderbolt Ross, we had Harrison Ford come in. So although there was ties to the previous film, it didn't feel that way just because of all the different castings and stuff. But let's start off on a positive note. Cap is back. Anthony Mackie finally stars on the big screen as Captain America. I thought he did a decent job. Overall, I thought the film was, like I say, pretty decent, and the story was just okay, but I really liked his story more than the overall plot of the film. That being that he's now struggling to come to terms with being Captain America. He realises it's much harder than he thought it was going to be. Is he the man for the job? He doesn't have the super serum, which he's sort of regretting. He's wondering, is this job too big for him? In a world of very powerful people and very powerful threats, is he the best person to be in the suit and placed in the heart of the conflict? I thought it was very, good that he overcome these struggles. It's very good that his fighting improved. We could see that in some of the fight scenes that I thought were pretty good in the film. He's had training with former Cap Isaiah Bradley, a super soldier, so he's holding his own in these training sessions, preparing him for tough threats against powerful people by going toe-to-toe with him in training. The suit obviously is an equalizer because it's made of vibranium. It has the wings, so he's a much different Cap than Steve. His aerial threat, his tech, his weaponry, Red Wing, he can shoot these vibranium sort of like, they look like part of his wings, vibranium feathers, if you will. No, and I think he's adapted his style, and I think he's definitely a good Cap, and I like it. Is he the right man for the job? Well, I guess we'll find out. But I really liked how the film was him struggling, and he had to overcome and get a bit more belief in himself that he could be the guy to be Cap. We have a new Falcon, which I thought was really cool. Joaquin Torres, I thought he was really good. As the new Falcon, young, cocky sidekick, eager to prove himself. I like the suit. He's made some changes. It stands out. It's different. He's a decent fighter, obviously, former soldier as well. So he's obviously got that sort of training. And he takes to the skies very well. I thought him and Anthony, Cap linking up together, Cap and Falcon, just like the old days, linked up really well. And I thought that he did a good job. And I'd like to see him again in future projects as the Falcon. Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross, I thought he really nailed it. He was one of the standout performers of the film. He really captures Ross and his struggle to you could see him holding back his aggression and to be the way he's always been, the general, to command the scene, to command everything, to do it with brute force. But no, he has to swallow that. He has to do it through diplomacy. He's the president now. You can't just burn every bridge. You have to, what's the word? You have to, compromise, give and take, all that stuff. And I really think he does a really good job in the film of portraying a man who's struggling to be, to go, he's going against his nature, but he's trying to do it for the betterment of mankind, himself, his country, and for his future, hopefully, relationship with his daughter. So I thought Harrison really acted well. And then in those moments when he did let loose and show Thunderbolt Ross, I think he really nailed the aggressive, wartime general really well. I thought it was a very good performance from Harrison. Let's talk about the main plot of the film, which is finally we get addressed to the dead Celestial that obviously happened at the end of Eternals and what goes on. Now, a lot of countries are vying for territory of the Celestial, claiming it, for their country because they want the resources that it brings, because we now know, finally introduced into the MCU, we have adamantium. And everyone wants it because they realise it's just as strong, or if not stronger, than vibranium. So that is the heart of the conflict. Thunderbolt Ross is trying to do a peace treaty, so, to cement his legacy and his presidency in sharing this, resource to, show that he has changed and that America can, play a part in this sort of stuff without being, the aggressor. And I like it because it's showing that countries are coming together, which should happen more in the real world, and that they can share the resources and everyone will be happy rather than just all out battle and greed trying to get the resource. Of course, that is where we come into our main villain. Samuel Steins is a character that appeared in The Incredible Hulk. He was trying to help Bruce Banner, who was trying to cure himself, and he was interested in the gamma radiation and how it worked. An experiment gone wrong turns him into an extremely intelligent man with an advanced, brain, and can process things and see all outcomes and all that sort of stuff. It's a good tie back to The Incredible Hulk, like I say, and he's the main villain. He has been being used by Thunderbolt Ross, and it's really wrong of what Ross has done. He's manipulated him into helping him, achieve further political gain and making weaponry and things to help him and advance his position, and also curing him of his heart problem to keeping him alive, all in favour of one day, once we, do all the things you need to help me do to get to the presidency, I can give you a pardon and give you your life back. So he's very manipulative and it is very wrong, but Steins, of course, gets upset and decides to turn on him and set him up by turning him into the Red Hulk. I thought the Red Hulk was done very well. I actually thought it looked not too bad, and it was cool just to see a Hulk being a Hulk instead of what we've had recently with our own Hulk, smashing things, destroying. I thought the fight scene was really good, with Cap and him, having to adjust, fighting someone who's far more powerful than himself, using his suit, using his wings, using every tool at his disposal, ultimately, of course, getting his ass kicked, but holding his own and really showing that he can, hold his own on that level and that stage and lead, which I thought was really good and was good to see. There was, like we say, just a couple of moments of very poor visual effects, which I'm guessing happened in reshoots, where, you could see him just at the Cherry Blossom Road when they were talking, and you could see how bad the background was. It was clear he was in and behind green screen. But, we'll take it, it happens. But overall, I thought the Red Hulk was done well, especially the fight scenes. I also want to pay tribute to the fight scenes in this film. The choreography was done well. The new Black Widow, her name was Ruth Burt Seraph, if I'm pronouncing that right, and she was part of the Red Room and one of the Widows, and she was brilliant in it. A very, cold, calm, calculated character and a very good fighter, and I really liked how it was sort of like the old days. We had a Widow, a Cap and a Falcon. It just felt kind of nostalgia in a way, but in the new generation, and I thought it was done very well. I thought the fight scenes were very well done, especially with Cap and her and Falcon in the ground fight scenes, but I really liked the Top Gun style fight scene with the planes, and of course Joaquin Torres, the actor who played him, was in Top Gun, and it was just really cool to see them both fighting planes, dodging bullets, using their suits. It was really done very well. I thought that was one of the highlights of the movie. I really like his new suit, the dark blue. I do like the white, blue suit, there's more star-spangled America style suit, but I also like the dark blue style. Original Cap had one very similar, and I just think it's good to mix it up and have multiple options, of course, in case of damage like he does. So yeah, I thought the suits were very cool. I love the wings. I like how they've infused the Black Panther tech as well. I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed seeing him use that, absorb blows by blocking and then being able to redistribute it as an attacking offensive option. I thought that was really cool. Another highlight of the movie was Bucky Barnes' appearance, which we didn't expect to see. He comes at a vital moment for Cap when he's clearly struggling and needs a bit of mentorship and leadership and advice and guidance to show he's on the right path, and he is the right choice. And, you know, it's always good to see Bucky on the big screen, and hopefully we get to see him soon, as we will in Thunderbolts. Apparently, he's going to be running for Congress. They let it leak in this film, which is interesting that he's going down the political route, but going to be part of the Thunderbolts. I wonder how that's going to work. Again, I feel like a lot of the film did raise a lot of questions, as much as answers, I felt, across our future for the MCU. But no, very interesting. One of the main takeaways from this film was the end credit scene, that somehow the villain Steins is able to warn Cap that a future threat of other heroes is coming. I'm not sure how he's able to read into that. I know he can look at the outcomes of the percentages and predict, all possibilities. But how is he tapping that in with the multiverse? Not too sure, but hey-oh. And he's basically letting Cap know that a threat is coming, and I think they're alluding to Secret Wars and Doomsday, where the other Avengers, other heroes with powers and threats that will be coming. And a theme with Thunderbolt Ross earlier in the film asking, Cap that, maybe it is time we need the Avengers to be rebuilt for these threats. So it's interesting because obviously that's setting it up. The Avengers come together again. Who's Cap going to recruit? We all know who we think he should recruit in that. Put your comments down below. Who you think the main 4 or 5 should be of the new Avengers. Of course, we have a wide variety. Some that might be in other teams and things like that. But who should be the core main 5 or 6, like the other original OG Avengers, but with the new Avengers? Let me know what you think. If you're asking me, I think Cap, obviously, Captain Marvel, Thor, Spider-Man. I'd perhaps probably go with Doctor Strange, and then finally, I mean, you wouldn't want to look past Hawkeye, as he is still an original OG member. But if I'm going for someone a bit more powerful, a bit more, to add oomph to the team, I would use Shuri's Black Panther. That would be my 6. One final thing is that, to be fair, we have to give credit to this film that it flowed as well as it did, because there was problems with it. There was a lot of reshoots. For example, Giancarlo Esposito's character, Sidewinder, was really not in it nowhere near as much as I thought. He was a cool character, ex-military turned, sort of like, mercenary, and he was causing Cap's problems. He had a really cool fight scene with Cap, and that was good. But I really thought to see him more. Originally I believe the WWE actor Seth Rollins was scheduled to be a part of this film and have a role. He was not in it at all. So obviously they made a lot of changes, and I know there was a title change as well. So, I thought it actually flowed quite well considering the amount of reshoots. You could see it in certain places, but overall I felt they did a good job of patching this one together. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Captain America Brave New World. Tell me what you think down below of the film. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you excited with the end credit scene that sets up, potentially Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday? Cap is back. Are you happy with that? Do you like this Cap? Do you not like this Cap? Let me know in the comments below. Please smash the like button. It really helps with that pesky YouTube algorithm. As a new channel, it's really important that I get out there and get seen by as many people as possible. If you like this sort of content, feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And without, thank you very much for all the support so far that's been given. I really appreciate it. I'll be back soon with another video. Not Marvel, don't worry. I know I've done a lot of Marvel lately, but I'll be dipping my toes into another ranking. I'm going to be doing a ranking of the Harry Potter movies. So hopefully you'll like that. Feel free to check it out. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Thank you very much. Adios.